Right now, the universe stands at a powerful and pivotal moment. Earth is rising in vibration, responding to the energetic waves of the new age, and as it does, a deeper truth is beginning to reveal itself. Behind the scenes, hidden from ordinary sight but profoundly real, a darker force is moving with intention. These unseen energies are working hard to block humanity's path of spiritual awakening and higher evolution. What we're experiencing is no longer just a spiritual challenge. It has become a cosmic intervention, and the gravity of what's unfolding is more intense than ever before. In the midst of this cosmic tension, a voice has stepped forward. The Pleiadians, those wise and compassionate beings from the constellation of the Seven Sisters, are breaking their silence. Their message travels across galaxies, an urgent call for humanity to awaken and act. They speak of the Ascension timeline, a sacred energetic pathway meant to carry us into higher consciousness and collective healing. But this divine path is under siege. Forces of manipulation and control are actively working to keep us trapped in cycles of fear, limitation, and separation, effectively blocking our shift into the fifth dimensional frequency that represents love, unity, and liberation. And why now? Why this moment? Because we're closer than we've ever been to a great awakening. We're standing at the edge of something profound. The powers that wish to keep humanity asleep can feel this momentum building, and they are doing all they can to stop us from realizing the truth of who we are. But despite their efforts, there is hope. There is always hope. And the first step to reclaiming our sacred path is awareness. The Pleiadians, with their ancient knowledge and pure intention, are sharing vital insights to help us understand what's really happening and how we can take our power back. In this video, we'll explore the truth behind the spiritual war, the energetic manipulations affecting our planet, and most importantly, how each of us can align with the divine light and secure our rightful place on the Ascension timeline. This isn't just information. It's a call to rise, a call to remember who we are. If you feel this message in your heart, take a moment and affirm in the comments, "I am ready." Your voice matters, your energy matters, and your participation makes a difference. Before we go deeper into the message the Pleiadians have shared, I want to ask for a small favor. Recently, my content has faced challenges reaching those who are aligned with this wisdom. If you find value here and want to help us continue bringing this light to others, please consider supporting by clicking the thanks or join button. Your support helps keep this mission alive and growing. Now, let's journey into the heart of this cosmic message. Let's illuminate the truth and understand the path that lies ahead. The Ascension timeline is not just a concept. It's a living, breathing, energetic current that connects all of humanity to our divine potential. Think of it as a sacred map that leads us from a world governed by fear, division, and materialism into a reality where love, harmony, and unity reign. It is the energetic river that carries our collective soul toward an expanded state of awareness. But, like any river, it can be polluted or redirected. If this flow is tampered with, the direction of humanity's evolution can be altered. We can become stuck in loops of limitation, disconnected from our true selves and each other. This timeline is not about individual gain. It's a shared responsibility. It's a collective journey meant to lift all beings on Earth into a higher state of consciousness. And the Pleiadians have been guiding humanity on this journey for eons. Their presence is not new. They've always been here, offering subtle nudges, sacred knowledge, and loving support from higher dimensions. But now, in this moment of great transition, they are stepping forward with more urgency than ever before. They see the cracks forming in the energetic foundation of the Ascension timeline. They see the forces that are manipulating this sacred current and attempting to take us off course. Their message is clear. We must become conscious guardians of this timeline. We must choose to embody the light, to awaken to the truth, and to align our energy with the frequencies of love and unity. If we fail to recognize what's happening, we risk missing the opportunity for collective ascension. an opportunity that may not come again in our lifetime. When the Ascension timeline is compromised, the consequences ripple across all dimensions of human experience. Imagine a beautiful symphony suddenly losing its conductor. The music falls into chaos, the harmony collapses, and the magic is lost. That's what happens when the timeline is interfered with. It traps humanity in emotional and mental states that feed on fear, anger, confusion, and division. These low vibrations reinforce themselves, creating a cycle that is hard to break. Like a wildfire spreading through dry forests, they consume everything in their path, leaving behind only remnants of what could have been. When we're caught in these lower vibrations, we become disconnected from the higher energies that support transformation. Our spiritual growth slows down, the momentum of awakening stalls, and the vision of a peaceful, unified earth becomes harder and harder to see. Sensitive souls, lightworkers, empaths, and truth seekers begin to feel lost or overwhelmed. The universal flow of energy that normally fuels their gifts becomes distorted. It feels like navigating through a foggy maze, searching for clarity but finding only confusion. This is not an accident. The Pleiadians emphasize that this interference is intentional. It's a calculated move by those who want to maintain control over humanity's path. These forces feed off division. They amplify fear. They do everything they can to keep us disconnected because a divided humanity is easier to manipulate. The stakes at this point in time are incredibly high, and the Pleiadians' warning reflects just how critical this moment is. But they are not calling us to fight. They are calling us to rise in consciousness, to become so aligned with love, truth, and light that these lower forces can no longer touch us. We are being asked to choose, to stand in our divine truth, to become living beacons of the Ascension timeline. Because this is not just a spiritual ideal, it is our soul's purpose, our collective lifeline, and its protection is more important now than ever before. There are forces working in the shadows to disrupt this sacred journey. These entities are not part of some fantasy. They exist both in energetic and physical realms. They have woven a web of control designed to keep humanity stuck in lower states of awareness. They move silently, undetected by most, and their methods are subtle but powerful. Rather than using force, they infiltrate the structures of society, governments, media, institutions, and even technology. They manipulate thought, emotion, and perception, creating a reality where fear and separation seem normal. These shadow entities act like parasites, feeding off humanity's pain, trauma, and fear. They are drawn to low vibrations, and they do everything possible to keep those energies circulating. At their core, they are the opposite of unity and evolution. They thrive in division and disconnection, and they do not want humanity to remember its power. They use fear as their main weapon. It's their currency, the energy that sustains their grip. Fear is woven into news headlines, entertainment, education, and even casual conversation. We are constantly being told that the world is dangerous, unpredictable, and out of control. This focus on negativity creates a veil, a fog that blocks us from seeing the light of higher truth. It's like holding a mirror up to the sun, not to reflect its brilliance, but to dim it, to cast a shadow where illumination once was. Technology, too, has become a double-edged sword. While it holds the potential to connect and uplift, it's often used to distract and control. Social media platforms that could inspire global awakening are instead used to spread division, fear, and misinformation. Algorithms silently guide people toward echo chambers of negativity, reinforcing separation. Surveillance systems create an atmosphere of constant watching, subtly suppressing our creativity and freedom. These tools, though invisible, act like chains, quiet, unrelenting, and deeply effective. Then there's the realm of everyday distraction. Consumerism, entertainment, and material obsession are all designed to keep us chasing empty rewards. They divert our attention from the soul's journey inward. Instead of seeking healing or enlightenment, many become caught in a cycle of needing more, more validation, more things, more noise. It's a subtle trap, but a powerful one, and it's all part of the same plan to keep us asleep. But here's the truth. Even in the midst of this darkness, we are not powerless. In fact, we have never been more powerful. The moment we become aware of the manipulation, we reclaim our energy. The moment we choose love over fear, we break the cycle. And the moment we align with the Ascension timeline, we become unstoppable. This is the time to remember who we are. The Pleiadians have offered their guidance, but the real work, the transformation, must come from within each of us. This moment is a sacred opportunity, a cosmic invitation to rise, to reclaim our divine birthright, and to step fully into our light. The forces of interference are strong, but the power of awakened humanity is even stronger. Many people find themselves caught in endless loops of accumulation and shallow accomplishments, chasing after what sparkles without realizing they're wandering through a labyrinth. It's a maze full of glittering distractions that seem valuable on the surface, but the true path to freedom lies just beyond it, hidden in plain sight, just outside the walls of illusion. These distractions aren't inherently bad or evil, but they've been carefully used as tools by those who want to keep humanity stuck in this superficial version of life. This isn't happening by accident. The timing is very deliberate. Humanity is standing at the edge of a massive vibrational shift, something that has the potential to awaken global consciousness like never before. Often called the Ascension process, this shift marks a pivotal turning point, a chance for the collective to rise into a new level of awareness. But not everyone welcomes this evolution. The forces that benefit from humanity's disconnection and low vibration are fully aware of what's unfolding. They know that as people wake up and lift their vibration, their own grip weakens. It's like watching a tiny flame gradually grow stronger. Soon, the darkness in the room has no power left. Their interference is not just a coincidence. It's a calculated effort to exploit the uncertainty and instability that often come with deep change. The shift we're going through is as natural as the seasons, but these opposing forces want to interrupt that rhythm and redirect the flow. They're using this powerful transitional energy as an opportunity to seed fear and confusion. Picture a river swelling with strength during the spring melt, and someone trying to dam it right when it's at its most forceful. That's how determined they are to stop this movement. Their goal is to prevent the collective from crossing into this new timeline of expansion and keep humanity entangled in the old ways. What makes them effective is not brute strength, it's subtle psychological manipulation. They understand the human mind and energy field well. These forces know where our vulnerabilities lie, and they exploit them. They tap into the parts of us that feel alone, confused, or not good enough. And they amplify those feelings until we start to believe that's all we are. Imagine an orchestra playing a beautiful melody, and someone keeps playing an off-key note just loud enough to disrupt the entire harmony. That's what they do to our energy. But even though they seem powerful, it's important to remember that they only have as much power as we give them. They operate through illusion and misdirection, using fear and deception to appear larger than they are. Like shadows in the dark, they can seem intimidating, but the moment you shine a light, they lose all their shape and power. Awareness is our greatest strength. When we understand how they work, what tactics they use, and why they're using them, we reclaim our personal power. This isn't a fight with weapons. It's a journey of consciousness. Staying aligned with higher frequencies, like love, compassion, unity, and truth, is how we rise. No matter how much resistance they create, this vibrational shift is already in motion. It can be slowed down, but it cannot be stopped. Humanity is destined to grow and evolve. That blueprint is woven into our very essence, and no amount of interference can erase it. This dark agenda, however powerful it may seem, cannot overpower the divine design of our ascension. What it can do is challenge us. It can test our resolve, push us to grow, and remind us of what's at stake. It's a wake-up call to step into our power and protect the timeline we are meant to walk. To recognize when our timeline is being hijacked, We have to learn to tune into the quiet signals within and around us. Often, these interferences start as subtle shifts, unusual fatigue, sudden emotional swings, or waves of anxiety that seem to come out of nowhere. It's like trying to tune into a clear radio station, and suddenly there's static where the music used to be. These aren't just random personal issues. They're often signs that something external is trying to disrupt the collective energy field. One of the most powerful tools these forces use is fear. Fear is like a thick fog that rolls in and clouds everything. It blurs our ability to see clearly, to think clearly, and to feel connected. Major world events, wars, pandemics, economic downturns, are used to inject fear into the collective. And media plays a huge role in amplifying this fear, turning every worry into a headline and every concern into a crisis. This flood of fear seeps into the collective psyche like a wildfire carried by strong winds, fast, widespread, and devastating. But fear isn't always loud or obvious. It also shows up in smaller, everyday ways. Social media, for instance, is filled with fear-driven content, doom-filled predictions, divisive opinions, or constant reminders of how bad things are. The more we engage with these messages, the more we anchor ourselves in low-frequency emotions. It's like a clear lake being stirred up over and over again until the water becomes too murky to see through. That's what happens to our energy when we let fear in. We lose our clarity, and our connection to truth fades. There's another layer to this deception, and it's even trickier to spot. It's what many call the false light agenda. These are messages or teachings that wear a spiritual mask. They sound enlightened, they promise healing or ascension, but underneath they lead people down paths that ultimately block real growth. These messages often come from charismatic figures or groups who appear well-meaning, but who subtly distort spiritual truths. It's like seeing an oasis in the desert, beautiful and promising from far away. But when you get closer, there's nothing there. These false light messages usually offer quick fixes and feel-good promises that bypass the deep inner work true growth requires. They make people feel like they're progressing, but it's all surface level. Like eating sugary snacks, they give a quick rush of energy but leave you feeling empty afterward. To spot these deceptions, we have to rely on discernment. That inner sense of truth that sharpens the more we trust our intuition. When something feels off, when the message is pushing urgency, fear, or superficiality, it's a signal to take a step back and listen inwardly. All of these tactics, energetic disturbances, fear, false light, are interconnected. They're like threads in a web designed to keep us entangled in the old paradigm. But they're not here to break us, they're here to wake us up. These challenges are signals, like storm clouds on the horizon, telling us it's time to prepare. The more we recognize them, the more we take our power back. Awareness is what cuts through the fog. It helps us make aligned choices, tune into truth, and stay anchored in our higher path. Each challenge we face is also a doorway to deeper strength. Energetic interference teaches us how to maintain boundaries and stay grounded in our center. Fear challenges us to find peace and trust, even when the world feels upside down. False teachings invite us to go deeper, to look within instead of giving our power away. In their own way, these forces are helping us evolve, pushing us to embody the frequency of ascension more fully. So what can we do to protect ourselves in the timeline we're here to walk? According to Pleiadian wisdom, it begins with shielding your energy field. Imagine your energy like an invisible armor or a protective bubble surrounding you. It's sensitive, constantly responding to the energy around it. Without care, it can soak up negativity and throw you off balance. Practices like visualization, grounding, and energetic cleansing help fortify this field. Picture yourself wrapped in a radiant light, a shimmering cocoon that reflects negativity and strengthens your core. Grounding through nature is powerful too. Walking barefoot on the earth, sitting beneath a tree, or even just breathing fresh air can bring your energy back into alignment. The Earth offers stabilizing frequencies that help us reconnect with our natural rhythm and clarity. And then there's intuition, your inner compass. In chaotic times, intuition is like a lantern lighting your way through the dark. It's not loud and it doesn't always make logical sense, but it's steady. It's that quiet knowing that something feels right or wrong, even when you can't explain why. To hear it clearly, we need stillness. Meditation, reflection, journaling. These create space to listen to the voice of your soul. Intuition is gentle. It guides, but never pressures. If a message feels panicked or anxious, that's a clue it might not be truth. Real guidance feels calm, like a river flowing peacefully, even when the terrain is rough. The more you practice listening to this guidance, the stronger and clearer it becomes. On a broader level, strengthening collective consciousness is just as important. Picture humanity as a vast tapestry, where each person is a thread. Alone, a thread seems small, but woven together, they form something strong and unbreakable. When we unite in shared purpose and higher vibration, our collective field becomes too powerful to manipulate. Acts of kindness, community meditation, shared intention, these are the threads that bind us. Even the smallest act of love sends ripples across the field. When we show up for each other, we reinforce the timeline of ascension. The Pleiadians teach that intention is everything. A clear, heart-centered intention can change the world. It's like planting a seed that grows not only for you, but for everyone connected to you. Intentions rooted in unity and truth create a wave that lifts the whole collective. In this journey, personal care and collective action go hand in hand. When you take care of your energy, you become stronger. And the stronger you are, the more powerfully you contribute to the whole. It's like trees in a forest, connected underground, sharing resources so that all can thrive. You are not alone in this process. Every step you take toward protection, awareness, and growth ripples out and supports the timeline we are all working to anchor. When you engage with the collective consciousness, you're doing more than just protecting yourself. You're creating a powerful, multi-layered energetic field that naturally shields against interference. Each spiritual practice you embrace becomes a building block in a much larger, resilient structure, keeping the ascension timeline steady and undisturbed. But these practices aren't just about surviving the shifts in consciousness. They're about truly flourishing, growing, and stepping into the elevated frequencies that the Pleiadians are here to help us embody. This is the path of the Ascension Blueprint, the sacred roadmap to returning to the true timeline. One of the most vital pieces of this journey is learning how to anchor light into the earth. This isn't just a mystical idea. It's a deeply sacred act that strengthens the bond between human beings and the higher dimensional energies of the fifth dimensional timeline. Imagine Earth as a radiant crystal, always absorbing and amplifying energy from those who choose to connect with it intentionally. When you become a conduit for light, bringing divine energy down through your body and into the ground, you're helping to bridge the realms. The spiritual and the physical become one through your awareness. This can be as simple as meditating with the intention of sending love into the earth, or visualizing golden light pouring through you like a waterfall and flowing deep into the soil beneath you. These practices don't just support your own energy, they reinforce the entire collective grid. The result is a more stable, luminous field of energy that is far less susceptible to energetic disruptions or outside influence. Every time you do this, you're planting a seed of light that will eventually grow into a radiant forest, strong enough to shelter humanity from the heavier, darker energies that still seek to hold on. But this anchoring process isn't limited to spiritual practices alone. It naturally expands into your everyday life. Every time you choose kindness, extend compassion, or lift someone up, you're weaving light directly into the Earth's energetic matrix. Even simple moments, expressing gratitude, caring for the environment, or speaking gently, are forms of anchoring light. The Earth responds to this love just like a musician inspired by a beautiful melody. The exchange creates a cycle, a reciprocal rhythm where what you offer is returned to you in even greater measure, raising your vibration and those around you. At the heart of realigning with the true Ascension timeline is personal responsibility. Every thought you have, every word you speak, and every choice you make is like dropping a stone into still water. The ripples extend far and wide, often beyond what you can see. When your choices are rooted in love, integrity, and compassion, those ripples contribute to the upliftment of the entire collective. But if that responsibility is ignored, if you turn away from your inner work, the opposite can occur. Just like a garden left untended becomes overtaken by weeds, your energetic field and the collective's can become overrun by the vibrations you haven't consciously worked to transform. Owning your responsibility doesn't mean taking on the world's problems. It means recognizing your role in shaping the world around you. Being mindful of your words, for example, has a tremendous impact. Words are seeds. They can bloom into beautiful flowers or grow into sharp, tangled thorns. And the intention behind them determines what they become. Choosing kindness in speech is like planting a garden of light in the shared field of humanity. But when our words come from fear or anger, they can build barriers that block the flow of Ascension energy. Your voice has power. How you use it matters deeply. Reclaiming your sovereignty is another core piece of this path. It's like remembering that you've always worn a crown, even if you forgot. Sovereignty is about understanding that you are not just here to observe life. You're here to shape it. It's about making conscious choices that align with your soul's purpose, instead of being pulled in 100 different directions by external forces. You become like a captain steering your ship through turbulent seas. Without sovereignty, you drift wherever the current takes you. But when you hold the wheel with intention, you begin to chart your own course, one that leads straight toward your highest destiny. To truly live in sovereignty, you must learn to listen to your inner truth. That quiet inner compass always points you in the direction of alignment, even when the world around you is shouting with distractions. Society is constantly sending mixed messages, telling you to fit in, follow trends, and play it safe. But sovereignty is the act of turning down that noise so you can hear the whisper of your soul. And that whisper may guide you onto a path that others don't understand, but it will always be the path of your deepest truth. Living in alignment with your sovereignty also means setting boundaries. These aren't walls. They're like the gates of a well-tended garden. They let in what nourishes you and keep out what drains or harms your energy. By establishing clear energetic boundaries, you protect the space you need to grow and evolve. That might mean stepping away from toxic patterns, relationships, or environments. And while those choices may be difficult, they are powerful acts of self-love and love for the timeline you are helping to shape. As you grow into your sovereignty, you begin to inspire others to do the same. Like one candle lighting another, your example becomes a beacon. This ripple effect strengthens the collective, creating a grid of sovereign, awakened individuals, each one a guardian of the Ascension timeline. Together, this network becomes a powerful force, realigning humanity with its highest potential. Anchoring light, embodying personal responsibility, and living in sovereignty are not separate paths. They are interwoven threads in the grand tapestry of Ascension. Every time you choose love, presence, or alignment, you add another thread to this divine design. You become part of a cosmic dance where each step, no matter how small, echoes across dimensions, helping to secure humanity's future in a timeline of light. So where is all of this leading? The Pleiadian prophecy offers a glimpse of what could be. Not a guarantee, but a possibility born from our collective choices. They describe a future where Earth has fully embraced the Ascension timeline. In that reality, humanity exists in deep harmony with the planet, and the energies of love and unity have replaced fear and division. It's like a symphony where every note, every instrument plays in perfect harmony. This is the frequency Earth is meant to achieve, a divine resonance we are invited to co-create. But the Pleiadians remind us that this vision, won't manifest without effort. They speak clearly about the resistance that will arise from the forces that want to keep humanity stuck in lower vibrations. These energies work like tricksters hiding in shadows, weaving illusions that feed fear, doubt, and separation. And the closer we get to the light, the louder their distractions may become. It's like tending a beautiful garden. Just as your flowers begin to bloom, the weeds push harder to take root. This is why the Pleiadians call for vigilance and inner strength. One of the most powerful tools we have is awareness. As fear-based narratives increase, whether through global events, societal tension, or your own inner doubts, remember that you are like a tree in a storm. The winds may rage, the branches may bend, but if your roots are deep in love, in connection with the divine, with the earth, and with each other, you will stand strong. According to the Pleiadians, the final outcome of ascension is nothing short of the transformation of Earth itself and of every soul upon it. This isn't just about changes in our environment or systems, it's a complete shift in consciousness. Like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, it's not just a change in form. It's a complete redefinition of who we are. In this new Earth, scarcity, fear, and competition no longer rule the human experience. Instead, life is guided by creativity, abundance, and cooperation. The Earth thrives alongside us, its natural systems healed and renewed, as we take on the sacred role of stewards rather than consumers. And this great transformation begins with you. Your energy matters more than you may realize. The Pleiadians often say that each individual is like a drop in the ocean. On its own, a drop seems small, but together these drops create waves powerful enough to reshape the entire shoreline. When you align your energy with the frequencies of love, you become part of a current that lifts all of humanity toward its highest future. Daily practices are essential to keep this alignment strong. Meditation is a foundational tool, a space where you return to your truth and attune to the higher energies that are guiding this shift. Think of it as tuning your instrument so that your unique frequency blends harmoniously into the symphony of collective evolution. Setting intentions is another key practice. When you choose love, compassion, and growth in your thoughts and actions, you're choosing to walk the timeline that leads to ascension. Intentions act as a compass in the fog, keeping you steady when distractions arise. But this vibrational alignment isn't just something you do on a meditation cushion. It's woven into everything. From the food you eat to the words you speak, every choice either lifts your vibration or dims it. Imagine your actions as logs added to a sacred fire. Feed that fire with authenticity, and it will shine brightly enough to illuminate not only your own path, but also spark light in those around you. The Pleiadians remind us that awareness is not just a blessing, it's also a responsibility. If you see the hidden battle for humanity's future, if you understand what's at stake, you are being called to share that knowledge. This isn't about forcing anyone to believe what you believe. It's about being a gentle guide. Picture yourself in a forest where some paths lead to darkness and others to light. If you've found your way to the light, you have the opportunity to help others find it too. Not by pulling them, but by shining clearly. Sometimes this sharing looks like a conversation. Sometimes it's art, writing, or simply living in alignment. Every sincere expression creates a ripple, waking others up and reinforcing the collective intention to remain on the true path. This great awakening is not about pushing ideas on others. It's about being the light that helps them see more clearly. You don't have to chase away the darkness. Just be the candle that burns, and others will begin to light their own flame. When you embody your truth and your highest vibration, you inspire others to remember theirs. That is how the Ascension prophecy unfolds, not through force, but through resonance. The prophecy is both a warning and an invitation. It reminds us of what we could lose if we stray from the path, but it also offers a radiant vision of what we can create if we stay committed. The Pleiadians see humanity not as broken, but as brilliant, like a star hidden behind passing clouds. The clouds may obscure the light for a while, but they cannot extinguish it. That brilliance is our true nature. Ascension is not just a dream. It is our destiny. And by choosing that destiny, by stepping into our truth with courage and clarity, we can co-create a world more beautiful and harmonious than we've ever known. The new earth is waiting. The path is within you. And the time is now.